Smell, of course, as always. I don't really know how to tell you this, but me and you, it's just not happening. It's not gonna work. I love you, but don't bother calling back. Alright?
The journey in making this album has been absolutely incredible. I've grown so much as an artist, as a singer, as a producer, as a writer. It's funny because when I first started putting the track list together, I had all these songs, and all those 17 tracks may seem like a lot for some. It was a whole lot more songs that I could have put them on there, but God was like, no, you're doing too much, just keep it simple. And Saying Goodbye, the album was actually birthed from the title track, which is song number 2. And that was I created that song May 6, 2012, and it was basically about a relationship I was in with a dude a few years ago, and obviously I had no business living that lifestyle for one, and God wasn't pleased, and to say the least, and when I say to say the least, I mean really to say the least, a long story short, because we're going to have to talk about this in a whole different video, but it was things like our lives were in danger, you know what I'm saying? We were a mess. It was so much going on. Like, when I look back, it's one of those situations you find yourself in. You would say before, I would never, I wish, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was one of them situations, like, he was pulling a gun out on me and calling the police on him, and his family threatened to come beat me up, and I had to end up staying with strangers. My family were doing their own thing. I couldn't call him. My best friend, she had chose this light-skinned dude with dreads and nice hair over me. So it was like a lot of things going on, and I felt stuck. And when me and this gentleman had spoke over the phone, before I started living with him, because we actually had met in Miami, long story short, and he stayed upstate, and everything wasn't what it was cracked up to be. When I got up there, it was like a whole different ball game. And at the time, I was 20, and I couldn't drink, I couldn't go to the club, I couldn't do all these things. He just made me feel like I just knew the feeling that I felt, man, it was awful. Like, I have never felt so stuck in my life. Like, I had no money to turn around, I had nowhere to go, I had nobody to call on. I just knew I had to deal with what I had to deal with. I was just hoping I'd get a job and I can go somewhere else and do something else. But life didn't play out like that. And I knew God wasn't pleased with my life after it was all said and done. But I was just in survival mode, and I've always felt like that for so long. And when, long story short, after I eventually left him, I came back to, where I was. I came back to Miami. I should say that. I came back to Miami, stayed there for a few months, things wasn't playing out, and he always left the open door, like, if things don't work out, you can always come back here, that type of situation. And me being the dumb person that I was, I came back, and things didn't get no better, and eventually I left again, and it was all said and done. And that's where Saying Goodbye, the song, was birthed from. And I was like, I'm saying goodbye. I'm running back to my first love, which is God. And of course, after it's all said and done, you look back on it and you're like, wow. I'm just glad I made it out alive. I'm glad I made it out, not ending up going to jail or getting into serious trouble, because unfortunately, these days, people get cut up, shot, you end up on the First 48, you end up on the crime scene channel on the news. You really can't put nothing past nobody, so you gotta be careful who you end up in relationships with, because it's dangerous. And all besides the physical danger, the spiritual man was the part of me that was suffering. I was dealing with him, and I wasn't pursuing my goals. My life, my purpose was on hold because I was in a situation I had no business. I was looking for a way of escape. I was looking for somebody to rescue me. And life taught me to be my own hero. Don't wait for nobody to save you. You save yourself. And so that pretty much birthed the song, Saying Goodbye.